Hey, Terry, do you want to
Hey,
do
Adam.
Breaking Bad finally?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yo, let's do it.
The Almost Sideways movie podcast. My name is Adam, and it is time to go back into the sideshow with myself and Terry. Is that you? We are.
Listen to the intro music still.
He's still dancing. Take a pause. Dance break. Dance battle on a sideshow again. But no, I'm really excited for this episode, guys, because we are going to a show that I've watched twice. This first season I've seen twice, but I've never seen the complete show in its entirety.
How
That is
dare you?
Breaking Bad. It's sacrilegious to be on the podcast. They almost revoked my movie pass. They almost kicked me out of the podcast because I haven't seen Breaking Bad. Not really, because that's why I'm here, folks. But I'm really excited to dive into Breaking Bad with you, Terry. Welcome back.
Yeah. It's great to be doing the sideshow again. I've missed it. Season 3 of the sideshow.
Season
We
3.
we started small, just a 10 episode miniseries, and then we went to
Very dense 10
yes,
episodes.
Band of Brothers is a very dense 10 episodes, but it was it was we knew this is all we had, and then we went to Barry for season 2 of the sideshow, which few more episodes, but they were only half hour, so that was a key. Now going to Breaking Bad, like this is a commitment, man. We are in this because as soon as we finish Breaking Bad, we're gonna have to start Better Call Saul.
Westland. Oh, Westworld. No, okay. Oh, Better Call Saul. Yeah, like a call. No, this is like a bond of matrimony. Like we're making this big commitment together, Terry, to get Breaking Bad completed on the sideshow.
Yes, and I've seen all of Breaking Bad. Now I make fun of you for having seen the first season twice. I saw the first 2 seasons twice before I actually watched it all the way through. So this is probably, I think this is my 5th time through the first season. Because I think it might be my 6th.
Nice.
Because I watched it first 2 seasons twice. Then I watched it all the way through. And then I was watching it with my wife, and we got stuck like halfway through and fizzled out.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started over again and got almost to the end. Like the last season split in half. We'd never watched the second half of the last season, which is crazy. We just we lost time. And now it's this time. So I think this is my 6th time watching the first season.
Nice. That's pretty cool. If you guys would like to see other sideshow entries, they are all also here on YouTube and also on our podcast. So check the show notes down below. I'll leave the links to the playlist for those 2 sideshows in there if you want to watch the Band of Brothers and Barry season. Barry, however, only starts like season 4, so just bear in mind with that. So check
podcast feed has all of them. And if you want to just jump straight to it, AlmostSideways.com. There's a little spot at the top. Click on Sideshow. You'll get to see all our Sideshow episodes on the podcast.
Yep, and all that stuff will be in the show notes. So anyway, one thing we realized is that you are very fantastic at breaking down episodes by making great descriptions. So how about we kick it off there and go with you reading this description of today's episode, the pilot episode.
It's like a gift. It's like I can't control it. No, okay. Yeah, so let's get into this. So this will be a little different because we've both seen this episode before. We've both seen the season before. So we're not going to be like guessing what's coming up next. But I think it's still cool to break down this episode and break down everything that's going on. Break down Breaking Bad. See. Anyways, all right, let's
breakdown of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, that's a clip for the soundboard.
It's why I'm here.
It's why you're here. All right, here we go. Breaking Bad, season 1, episode 1. It is entitled just simply Pilot. I mean, that's really all it needs. Okay. Meet Walter White. As Walt turns 50, he is an overqualified high school chemistry teacher by day, car wash attendant by night in Albuquerque, New Mexico. All of this is to provide for his wife, Skylar, his high school son, Walter Jr., and a baby on the way. One day at the car wash, Walt passes out from a coughing fit. Once taken to the hospital, it is discovered that he has inoperable lung cancer. He also says he has horrible health care. While wallowing in his misery and not telling his family, he has an idea. He takes up an offer from his brother-in-law Hank, a DEA agent, to go on a ride along for a meth lab sting.
Nice.
While riding along, he recognizes his former student, Jesse Pinkman, as he escapes the raid. Walt decides to confront Jesse and offer to be his new partner. He raids the supplies of his chemistry classroom. Jesse buys an RV, and they head out to the desert in their mobile meth lab to cook. When Walt cooks the purest batch Jesse has ever seen, he takes it to Crazy 8 and Emilio in an attempt to sell. Instead, they force Jesse to introduce them to Walt at gunpoint. When it looks like they are going to kill him, Jesse tries to run but trips and knocks himself out, and Walt offers to teach them his recipe. He then tricks them and sets off poison gas in the back of the RV. In a frenzy, he crashes the RV wearing only a gas mask and some tidy whities. When he hears sirens in the distance, he grabs a gun, records a message to his family, and prepares for the worst. However, it's just fire trucks coming to put out a brush fire started by Emilio's cigarette. When he gets back home, he feels like a new man, and Skylar notices. All right.
Is that you? Anyway, so this is not a minutes of guilt by any means, but this episode's fantastic. This is a great way to dive back into this show. And even though I've seen this several times already, because I know it beat by beat pretty much, and it's played the same way, it still is builds these great character moments, especially with Walter White and introducing Jesse Pinkman, because of course this guy's a stick man, like right out of the jump. It's pretty awesome. And I remember back when AMC, like the prime AMC days, Breaking Bad and Walking Dead were all the rage around that time. And I was a Walking Dead fan. And for whatever reason, I did not watch Breaking Bad, like I said. And this is how dedicated I am to the sideshow, Terry. I canceled Netflix like 3 weeks ago. So Amazon Prime.
Oh, man.
$14 to buy the first season. So,
dude,
yeah,
just get Netflix back.
No, but we never watched it. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway.
Well, this might be more cost effective actually. $14 for the first season,
and it's gonna be like over a month. I don't know. It's all good.
You know, Todd has the DVDs.
I do know a guy. Okay, there we go.
Know a guy. There you go.
Okay. So anyway, the first episode's still really good. I like the introduction. Hank, man, if he was my brother-in-law, like I have 4 brother-in-laws, and I really like him a lot.
Sit and spin.
Woo! Flip the bird. He's like, sorry, you do not see that. He's like one of those guys that if he wasn't related to you, you think he probably is hilarious, but you're like, this guy is just, oh my god, he would be kind of getting on my nerves. Possibly, we'll see how he continues. Cause I really only remember Hank from this first episode, really. So I have to remember him. I know that just the actor alone, I can already envision some intense moments and maybe some dark comedy. Who knows? We'll see. But anyway, this first episode, you do see definitely a great progression where his students kind of don't respect him in the classroom. At least Chad doesn't, and that girl. And then you go through like his car wash boss definitely is like a really bad manager and definitely doesn't respect him. And you can kind of see where, he feels maybe neglected, kind of going through that midlife crisis type of stuff. And then all of a sudden someone clicks in him, and obviously he has cancer. And so he's like, well, I'm going to try to do the best that I can for my family to try to provide for them before I have to die. And it's a great kind of just character building moments there. And that's why the whole first season really is. But it's a good way to kick off the intro to Walter White. So that's kind of my take on revisiting this episode for a third time.
It all starts with the best of intentions, right?
That's how usually things are. Yeah.
He's on his way out. He's got this inoperable cancer. He sees it as a death sentence. And what are you gonna do? Let's find a way to provide. And I mean, he obviously knows what he's doing chemistry wise. There's even a shot where he sees like his plaques on the wall, and he's thinking, what
Nobel
am I
Prize,
doing? Yeah, what am I doing teaching high school chemistry in the middle of Albuquerque? Moonlighting on the at night at a car wash. And the highlight of his week is going to Los Alamos to see the Mars rover photographs. The detail in those is just supposed to be stunning. It's he's living like the most boring life you could possibly imagine, and something it finally snaps it out of him, and it's like I gotta do something with my life. I gotta leave something behind for the people I love.
Mhm.
This episode, I mean, can you imagine? I didn't watch this when it first came out, but can you imagine those first 5 minutes being the first 5 minutes
What you
of
ever
a
see?
show? I mean, that's you see a speeding off RV crash, and then you're a guy in his underwear recording a confession letter, or a last will and testament basically to his family. It's
Yeah,
I mean that's just it's insane. It starts off guns blazing and never really stops.
yeah. You see, Bryan Cranston in his tidy whities again. Malcolm in the Middle.
Again.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
I also think it reminded me too. The best things in life come with like good best intentions type of thing. It reminds me of a quote from one of the best movies of our generation, Jurassic Park 3, where Alan Grant's saying some of the worst things imaginable come from the best intentions. So that's kind of where we're looking. Like, well, it's only the first episode, but especially those little moments at the beginning of the first 5 minutes, like, crap, I had the best intentions of doing something great here for my family, and hell's about to break loose already.
I,
So
I I didn't have the over under on 12 minutes into the sideshow quoting Jurassic Park 3, but I like it. I respect the decision.
it's a bold move, Cotton, but I just had to go with it. It's a bold
Hmm.
swing.
Was that before or after the Velociraptor talked to Alan Grant?
Oh, this is when he was in where the giant pterodactyls were. So after Billy stole
So
the
I think that'd be
Velociraptor eggs,
after.
that'd
I
be
think
after. Yeah,
after.
it was at
Yeah.
the almost at the 60-minute mark. And
Okay.
that's
Okay.
don't quote me on that part.
All right. Well,
Anyway, what's our first category? What are we talking about
so
today?
I think we always start with best scene because we kind of
Yeah,
naturally go there anyways. And I've already
yeah,
kind of been talking about mine because my best scene of this episode is the opening.
yeah. That's a
The
great call.
opening, which leads to the end, right? Because it opens with
Mhm.
the ending. And that, yeah, like I said, it's possibly the best opening ever for a TV show. I mean, just like I said, coming out guns blazing, and then to see the context behind it. See the context behind the first shot you see is a pair of pants flying through the air. And what that means, what two bodies rolling around the back mean, and yeah, and one of many black guys for Jesse.
Yeah, a lot of black
That's
guys.
a slight. That might be a slight spoiler alert for you, but
Take a shot every time you see one.
he
Uh,
gets, yeah. It's not a lone offense.
nice. Well, good call. That's a great scene. I'm as you're saying, like the best opening ever. I'm trying to recalling stuff sometimes is not the best what I'm good at, but trying to think about like best openings. Like I think The Walking Dead had a really cool opening. There was other like big shows that have really great openings, like Game of Thrones is another one I really like too. But this first one, it's very memorable. It starts off right, kicks off right away, and you're like immediately engaged in it. So I definitely agree. Like this is probably one of the best openings of all time, at least top 5. If somebody better, smarter than I was to put a list together, this would have to be top 5 opening. Uh,
What do you got for best scene?
I got the Captain Crab takedown sequence. That's
Captain Cook.
Captain Crab. That's the restaurant we like. Jeez Louise, the typical Adam messing up on little logistics things. Captain Cook. I even wrote down Captain Crab too. That's the even worse part. Captain Cook takedown sequence with Jesse and when Walt and Hank are on and what's his partner's name? Hank's partner's name?
Gomi.
Gomi, yeah. So when they were all like talking about sage and everything, it's like, is that what are you like?
You work at Pottery Barn?
It's like, yeah.
It's the name of the color. It's sage.
Yeah, at least I don't know. The only color I know is green. It's like, I know a word. Cheese dick.
That's all you need to know about Hank right there. That
Yeah.
he busts out cheese dick.
Yeah, he reminds me of a guy from work. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, that sequence is great. It's kind of teaches everything that Walt needs to know, because I think he's also Hank's like letting him go into a meth house is kind of irresponsible police work. I don't think that would necessarily be something that necessarily does happen. I've had a friend that has done ride-alongs before, and it was nothing this intense to go down. But maybe because it's his brother-in-law, he makes an exception. Who knows about that? But and then the reveal, like when Jesse and Walt first lock eyes, it's like he's like, "Oh, damn it!" Yeah, it's great.
Pinkman?
Yeah, yeah, and it's a great little great intro. It kind of yeah, it's just seeing them first lock eyes. I think that's just a great scene set up there as well. And poor Emilio.
Yeah, Emilio gets taken down for it.
Yeah.
It's
And
really broken up, man. It's broken up when I heard about Emilio.
I'll tell him right now. You tell him I said that. Oh, you tell him yourself. Oh,
yeah. All right. Biggest douchebag of the episode.
There's a couple here, I think.
There are.
I'm gonna go with Chad. The high school student. And I'm not a teacher myself, but I'm sure you don't do high school, but I'm sure you have those kids that just completely like disregard to what you're talking about, and talking amongst themselves, and then dragging the chair, just like blatantly disrespecting Walt, and then taking that photo of him while he's like cleaning the rims of his car. That's, yeah. Even though I know I want him to get taken down by Walt. That's what I want to see. I want to see him get knocked down a peg or two.
Oh, he totally should have.
Yeah.
But so along those lines, my biggest douchebag, I had Chad written down, but I had two in mind, because mine is, I think he's billed as Jock. And he's the one they see in the clothing store where Walter Jr.'s trying on his jeans, and he's making fun of him, and then Walt actually does take him down.
Yeah.
He's like, mess you up. It's like, oh yeah, we'll go for it. You got one shot. What
are you waiting for, your girlfriends? Worst buddies ever.
Now, here's what I thought of when I saw that, though. That guy, can you imagine? It kind of looks like it, but also just an attitude and everything. That guy grows up to be Roy from The Office.
Dude, before you said that, I was like, what, Roy from The Office? Because everything goes back to Roy.
He grows up to be Roy from The Office, which is all you need to know that he's a douchebag.
Yes, great call. Yeah, that's a good one right there. I like that one. Anything else? Any other ones you have? I
mean, sit and spin is a pretty douchey thing to say.
That is, yeah. There's a lot of lines that he does say.
Hank definitely has his douche moments, but that one's top notch right there.
Sit and spin. So
yeah.
He's like, yeah, the TV does add 10 pounds.
I was hoping, like, my favorite line referencing that is from Friends, and it would have been great if Marie had come back with the line Chandler comes back with when they're watching the Rachel and Monica high school prom video, and Monica says the camera adds 10 pounds, and Chandler says, so how many cameras are actually on you? Every time someone says that, that's the line that pops into my head, and Marie totally could have pulled that one out, but 10 pounds, that works too.
That's a good one. I haven't seen that show in its entirety.
It's well, I didn't did that. Yeah, just that line. It's a great line.
It's a good line. Okay, great line. How about your favorite stickman?
Stickman. I mean, in season 2 of the sideshow, we renamed a lot of the categories, and I think right away, first episode, we can rename the Stickman Award the Pinkman Award.
I'm glad you went there, because I was actually thinking it's enough said. It's enough said.
Yeah, I mean he getting it in with the neighbor, and like that was impressive. That
Yeah,
was
not
impressive
even
stuff
that.
right
I'm
there.
impressed.
Not even that. I mean, that's kind of Walt's reaction to everything Jesse in
He's
this
like,
episode.
oh my god.
Yeah, Pinkman. Like you can even tell when he says that, it's like I'm shocked, but also kind of like impressed at the same time. So, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Jesse, right?
Yeah, it's got to be Jesse, right? I don't think there's anything. Well, Chad, but yeah, I don't think that's really good. I don't want to mention him again.
Or
But
the
yeah, it's
last 10
definitely
seconds of
Jesse.
Walt.
Is that you, Walt?
That'd be the other option. But yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
I think it's a consensus. We're changing it. I'm changing it right now on my stuff. It's the
The
Pinkman Award.
Pinkman Award. All right. Well, there we go. That's what we do here. We change our categories on the fly. So heck yeah.
We do.
And then
Well, and we're already we've been talking. We may need to come up with some new ones. We'll see, because I mean, a lot of these awards we came up with kind of on the
Barry.
fly when we did Barry,
Yeah.
and so we'll see if something comes up. It's like, no, we got to go with that. Like,
Yeah. Let's do it.
dumb thing Hank says of the episode, or
Oh,
dumb
I
thing,
already like that.
or dumb thing, just maybe like dumbest thing said in the episode. Like maybe that's what we go with.
The
Dumbest
thing
like
said.
not like dumbest line, but the dumbest thing said. The thing that you're like, oh my word, that character's so dumb. We're doing it. All right, let me put it in here somewhere. I already know what mine's gonna be, and it's not cheese dick or sit and spin.
Oh, mommy, I pitched a loaf. Dumb. All right. Well, that's a great one. Okay.
All right, we got all right, we got a good one. That's gonna be great for throughout the whole show.
Okay,
Okay.
we got our douchebag down. We got our stick man. We got our best scene. Let's move over to minor character.
Minor character. Well, okay. So first, before we get to minor character,
Okay,
before we
gotcha.
do minor character, we usually do best new face. Now it's a pilot
yeah.
episode, which means every face is new. However, the whole concept of best new face also is kind of centered around the idea that you see some faces that you might recognize from other things and go, oh hey, that guy, right? This was the Hey John Hamm Award for the Barry season. So I'm going with the one that I recognize and I always notice and go, hey, that person is Marie, Hank's wife, Skylar's sister.
Oh yeah,
And
I've seen her before.
I remember there was a moment, and it was kind of reverse engineering in a way that I that I figured this out.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I watched like every episode of NCIS. Like the first couple seasons were amazing. Back when Kate was around, before she was killed off and Ziva took over. Ziva ruined the show. Kate was awesome. There's an episode of NCIS where Navy enlisted Navy women are disappearing, and they figure out that there's this guy who is convincing them to be his bride.
Oh no.
And then like hiding them in a bunker and basically until they waste away and die. And the one that they find and save is Marie. And so I remember I was going back and I was watching this episode of NCIS, or came on TV or something. And before it even showed her, I went, the bride's Marie. And so it was like this huge revelation. And one of my favorite polls I've ever had was that. So I'm going with
it's a pretty good pull.
Marie's my best new face, because it was it was more the other way around. The bride was Marie, not Marie.
Nice.
Bride.
Not Marie's the bride. The face that I even told you before we started pushing record on this was the guy who plays Emilio. I couldn't picture what character he's played, but his name is John Koyama, and he's played in some pretty big movies. He played in one of my '90s like guilty pleasures from '98, 6 Days, 7 Nights with Harrison Ford. He played in Kong Pao and Under the Fist. He played in Furious 7. He played in The Last Samurai, The Time Machine, War of the Worlds, Spawn. He played in The Book of Eli, Escape from L.A. Let's see here. That's pretty much. Oh, The Green Hornet with Seth Rogen.
Wow.
So, yeah, so some pretty notable like movies there. Rising Sun with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes, and then some other like smaller movies there. But yeah, that's one guy. He's like a stunt actor, so he probably did a lot of stunts in those. He probably didn't have his face, but that like seeing his filmography, like he just had that familiar face to me, and just I can't picture what he did in those other movies. But it's like he was in some pretty big things, even if it was just doing the stunt work on him. So it's pretty awesome though. So that's a face that looked familiar. I just couldn't quite place it. So John Koyama, who plays Emilio.
I like it. I like it.
So at least I had some. Where are we going next?
You did. All right. Favorite minor character.
Favorite minor character.
Formerly the Jermaine favorite minor character. I'm still upset he never showed up in season 4 at all.
Yeah, he's doing that killer comedy special, the Bo Burnham style.
Yeah.
My favorite minor character, Crazy 8 was one, but I'm trying not to put my bias aside from future episodes.
Sure.
So I'm gonna go with the firefighter at the hanging off the back of the fire truck. Because he sees just like he does that. Like he does that double back. He's like, he sees Walt and he's like, wait, that guy's in his underwear. What the hell is he doing out here in the desert? Like, I love that double back. It's like, he doesn't say anything. You don't even see it. Just like that double back. Cause I totally would do the same thing. It's like, why's that guy in his tiny whiteys? They're not even Fruit of the Loom or Hanes. They're like some off brand. Like, what the heck's going on?
That's brilliant. That is brilliant.
That's an Adam choice too. That's totally what I.
It reminds me. There's this guy I watch on YouTube a lot, and I bet he's on TikTok too, but I don't watch TikTok. But it's always the YouTube Shorts, which is basically YouTube's version of TikTok, and it's this big muscular bald guy, and he does videos, things I actually saw as a paramedic, and that probably would be on his list. So
some guy in tidy whities. It's good.
Yeah, like my favorite one is he shows up and it's like so what's going on? It's like my friend here, he's got bloody stool, like, oh, it's just gushing out. What's going on? It's like okay, let's get you to hospital. It's like, no, I can't go. It's like, wait a second. You guys been drinking a lot of beet juice? Oh yeah, we've been hammering beet juice all day. Never mind. Goodbye.
It's good. Bloody stool.
It's some great stuff. You gotta find him. He's hilarious. All right. My favorite minor character. Yeah, it's hard to stay blind to everything else that's going on. I mean, but even with that, I'm gonna go with Gomi, Hank's partner. The one scene because the one scene you get with him, or the couple scenes, and how he interacts with Hank, and just the whole then the bet on whether or not Captain Cook is Mexican or white.
Emilio Mexicano. Yeah.
Mexicano. It's like, oh, Asian, man. I won that one.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
He's half of it. Yeah.
He's half. Yeah. But yeah, no, Gomi's awesome. And the way that you can already tell the way they interact and their chemistry together is awesome.
Yeah, that's a good call. He was on my short list as well. I like it.
All right.
Go ahead.
No, go. I was going to move on to the next one.
Let's move on.
Okay. So in our previous iteration, we had the Barry relatable moment, which was the moment we related to the most. Now, we can't go with Barry relatable. So we're going to go a little more Breaking Bad here. And I think I like this. This is the midlife crisis moment of the episode, because that, honestly, let's face it, that's what Walt is having here. He's having his midlife crisis. Now, most people, when they have their midlife crisis, don't go and start cooking crystal meth, but that's what Walt did. But what is the midlife crisis moment that you can relate to from this episode? I'm going to go first. And what I'm going with is when he's getting told he has lung cancer, and like it's this really super like dense, heavy topic, and all he can think about is the mustard stain on the doctor's jacket. You have those moments where it's like, oh yeah, this is intense. This is big. I can't stop thinking about, that that one
That
hair
one little
that's out of
thing, yeah.
place, or that stain on the shirt, or why is there a dead fly on the wall? Or I mean, there's always something that you had that it's like, oh, there's an ant walking across the carpet, and that's what I'm gonna focus on.
Focus on, yeah.
Yeah, but and that's I totally get that and relate to that, and yep, I've
Good
been
call.
Walt in
I
that
like
moment.
that one. I like that one a lot. I had two down here. So obviously we're not close to our midlife crisis yet. We're a couple years away from that. Uh, but not using the right credit card, like that's Mastercard. We don't use the Mastercard, honey. Oh, all right. Yeah, my bad. But I need a printer paper. We don't use that card.
I love the other thing I love about that moment is there's this whole thing of which credit card to use, and he just got home from being told that he has cancer,
Yeah.
and she's busting his balls over a $15 charge on the Mastercard, and he just takes it. He
Yeah.
just takes it.
A younger person would have started an argument right there. A younger person probably would have. The other one that I had too is kind of like they're sitting in bed and they're they're talking about like what do you want to do this weekend, going to see the the space shuttle, and she's trying to she's getting handsy. And but you have to find as a parent, you have to find moments that work with the schedule you have, but you also have other shit to talk about too. So you're trying to multitask, and sometimes it don't work out, and like, oh, there he is, yes, I got this thing. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? That's a great relatable scene.
It
It
yes.
had to be said.
Yes. Well done, Adam. Well done.
It had to be said. That was the best way to describe it too, without going into the details.
All right. All right. So one I think that we'll do before midlife crisis moment that I forgot to do right here. Do you have a dumbest thing said of the episode?
The dumbest thing said in the episode. Currently probably not right now. Oh no, oh no, I don't have anything. No.
All right.
Cheese
I do.
dick's pretty good though.
Cheese dick is pretty good. You revealed your hand.
Yeah, I
Sit
played
and
it
spin's
early.
pretty good too. Mine's gonna go to Jesse for the dumbest thing said. When they're scouting out their spot where they're gonna cook their first batch. And he looks around.
Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. Nothing but cows in a big cow house. Let's cook here. Cow house? Yeah. Where they live. The cows.
That could also be a flaw too. There's nothing around, but that fire started really quickly. No, those firefighters got there super quick.
That's true. That is true. But the look on Walt's face when he has to explain what a cow house is,
Dumb.
it's just like, oh, what am I dealing with here?
Yeah, I thought of something. It's not really a stupid thing said, but it's just a great line when he his Bogdan, like that car wash manager, and he's like, I need you to go do the line, and he's like, F you and your eyebrows. I was like, that's just a great line. I was like, they wanted Eugene Levy there, I bet. But
very, very similar eyebrows for sure.
Very similar eyebrows. Yeah.
I also have to give a shout out to Walter Jr. for his great line of saying that the veggie bacon smells like bandaids.
That's pretty dumb. That's a weird comparison.
Well, yeah. and then there's the great exchange. I wrote it down. Let me find it here. Where right after that, when he looks at Walt and says, "So how does it feel to be old?" And Walt looks back at him and says, "How does it feel to be a smartass?"
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
That's a great line too. We're watching our cholesterol, apparently.
Yeah. All right, LVP, MVP. Then we'll wrap this thing up. LVP of the episode.
Bogdan's bushy eyebrows. Yeah, he's just a really bad boss. But it's like his eyes are down there, but you're like, dang man, those are all out of whack. Dang.
My LVP is chili powder.
Yeah.
No. Chili peas, my trademark, yo. Yeah. Well, not anymore. It isn't.
No, I think a bit bigger LVP is doing your own supply. Like Jesse immediately wanted to hit that crystal. You don't smoke your own supply, bro. You don't shit where you shit where you sleep type of sort of thing. Like that. Don't cook where your house is. But you don't do your own supply, man. That's like the first. That's the first rule.
Or having your personalized license plate say the captain. When...
Dumb.
Yeah. All right, MVP. I'm gonna say it's kind of basic. It's kind of dumb, but I'm going MVP is chemistry. Chemistry.
Paying attention in chemistry class. That's what I said.
There we go. This is art. It's just basic chemistry.
Just basic chemistry. Yeah, that's it. Or knowing like the red phosphorus scene, just chemistry. You can knock out people. Pretty good. Knock them out.
Yeah.
So that's
all right. Well, hey, we both know what's coming next because we've seen this season before. But I always love seeing this first season. It's almost slapsticky at times as you see, Walt kind of figuring out how to be a criminal.
Mm-hmm.
And we start to see more and more of that, especially in the next episode, as we see them have to deal with how to handle what's going on in the back of the RV.
Yeah. Definitely. It's getting good. Like we kind of talked off camera. Like I'm looking forward to episode. I think it's episode 3. Like it's going to be a fun kind of going back and rediscover these episodes because it's been about like 5 years since I've seen them. So
I can't wait till we get past the ones you've seen.
Yeah,
you're gonna be freaking out, man.
It's like your opinion, man. Like I don't know. It's gonna happen.
It's like your opinion, man.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna happen. I'm looking. It's always a show that I've been wanting or meaning to watch, but it just something else comes on, or we watch movies for the podcast, and I kind of like prioritize the movies over the shows. But we're kind of going into these side shows. That's why we do these episodes for this very reason, to watch these great shows.
Yep.
So
all right.
Anything else from you, sir?
Sit and spin.
Well, I think that's the perfect way to end it. So sit and spin, folks. Until next time, we will see you breaking some more bad. Talk to you later. Doing a podcast without a mouse on this program is kind of an LVP moment. So